So what I was starting to lead up to was that while that whole story of Hanuman was happening, when he was eating the sun and all that stuff, another story was happening at the same time in a different part of India, in a town called Ayodhya, and in Vaikuntha, which is a spiritual realm where Lord Vishnu lives. So Ravana, and also in Lanka, the island of Lanka, where Ravana had his kingdom. Ravana was the king of the demons, and he had 10 heads, and he had 20 arms, and he was the complete embodiment of ego and ignorance and delusion and illusion and greed and avarice and Ravana. Ravana. And Ravana, Ravana is an interesting character because he was also, in previous lives, he was a great devotee and a great yogi. And he was given a choice by Lord Shiva. You can either achieve liberation in 100 lifetimes as a yogi or in one lifetime as a demon. And he chose one lifetime. Even though the pain of that incarnation must have been unbearably great for the soul to embrace so much hatred. Anyway, so Ravana and his demons were overpowering all the worlds, the earth, the heavens, and the underworld, and destroying the path of Dharma, the righteousness, and spirituality. So the gods came up to Vishnu. Now Vishnu, in Hinduism, certain aspects of Hinduism, they talk about Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, creator, preserver, destroyer, and Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Durga, the creator, the preserver, creatress, preserveress, destroyeress, something like that. And the gods came to Vishnu and Lakshmi and they said, "Oh, we need help. The struggle is being lost and darkness is going to descend on the universe, on all the universes. Please, please, please incarnate as a man and a woman and help us." So Vishnu descended to earth as Rama, a human being, and his consort Mahalakshmi descended to earth as Sita, a human being, and they became married. The stories are amazing how, if I told the details. But they became married and were the embodiments of ecstatic, just blissful consciousness in human form. So Rama had 3 brothers, and they all loved him in the kingdom. They lived in Ayodhya in the kingdom. Everyone loved him. And Rama's father was Dasarat, a great, great, great king with great principles and great spiritual code of ethics. He's, a great, wise being. Dasarat was a very old man, and he had 4 wives. So the time was coming for Rama to be coronated king. Dasarat said, "I'm going to give up my kingdom, and I'm too old to do this. I want to go into a hermitage and spend my days praying." So tomorrow, Rama will be coronated king. You guys hear that? So just around that time, there was some rumblings going on in the kingdom, and there was a Dasaratha had a young wife named Kaikeyi, and she was his youngest wife, and she was very beautiful and very lovely, and he loved her very much, and he had so much fun with her because he was probably close to 100, and she was maybe 20, 21, and she made him feel young. So one day or one night or one morning or something like that, after a night of joy with his youngest wife, he said to her, my darling, I vow to you that anytime you ask, I will grant you 2 boons. Whatever they may be, I will grant them to you. I love you." Oh, God. And Dasarat was a man who would never, it was impossible for him to lie. He couldn't lie. So that was years before, and now the time was coming for Ram to become king. Now Kaikeyi's son was Bharat, another beautiful, beautiful person. And Bharat loved Rama. Bharat had no jealousy for Rama. But Kaikeyi had a servant, and she was a hunchback. And this this hunchback woman said to Kaikeyi, what are you doing letting Rama become king? If Rama becomes king, Bharat will be exiled, will have no power, and you will lose your position with the king. You will have nothing if Rama becomes king. The Dasarath is retiring to the forest to meditate. You think he's going to care about you? And so the maidservant put all these fears and doubts into Kaikeyi's mind. And her heart became clouded, and her judgment became clouded, and her vision of the world became filtered through the eyes of fear. And so we all know what fear does to us, right? Fear makes us see things differently. So Kaikeyi said, I think I know what I can do. And she said to Dasarath that night, she said, Dasarath, remember when you promised me that you would fill 2 promises for me? 2 boons? And Dasarath said, yes, my darling, this is such a great night. Tomorrow Rama will become king. Tell me what you want. Ask me anything. I promised you 2 boons. Ah, what a joyous night this is. And she said, I want Rama to be exiled for 14 years, and I want my son Bharat to become king. And Dasarath, whoa. First he laughed. He said, oh, funny. And she was adamant. And she said, this is what I request. And you cannot go back on your promise. So Dasarath fell to his feet and he begged her, why? Take back this request, please. But she would not. So Dasarath had to do it, and he called Rama and said, Rama, I've made this promise and I can't go back on it. So I have to ask you to go to the forest for 14 years. Dasarath was destroyed. He retired to what was called the chamber of sorrow, the chamber of tears. And his heart literally broke to tell this to Rama. But Rama said, Father, no, what's the problem? What's 14 years in the forest to me, to honor you, and to honor your word? And I know that Bharat will be a wonderful king. I have no problems with this at all. And so he packed his satchel, which probably wasn't much, and he proceeded to go. And all the townspeople were crying. Everyone was crying. And then Sita ran after him and says, my lord, my love, well, how can you go without me? And he said, well, I'm going to be in the forest. There's going to be lots of danger, and there's going to be none of the comforts that we're used to. And plus, there's demons. And she said, I have no life without you. I'm coming. So he said, thank you, my love. And she followed him. And then Rama's younger brother, Lakshman, ran after and said, I'm coming too, because it's my job to help you and to serve you and protect you. So the 3 of them left, and Dasarath lay down in the chamber of sorrow, the chamber of tears. He immediately went blind from the breaking of his heart. And within a very short time, like a week, 2 weeks, he died of sorrow. And Bharat said, I don't want to be king. I won't be king. And Ram said, well, you must be king for me. You must rule for me. And Bharat said, I won't sit on a throne. And Bharat said, Rama, give me your sandals. So Rama gave his brother his sandals, and Bharat put Rama's sandals on a throne and sat below the throne and ruled the kingdom. This was from outside the city. He set up a little tent outside the city with a throne, and he put Rama's sandals on the throne, and he ruled the country for Rama, and everything that came up, he presented to Rama's sandals, and asked for Rama to guide him through the sandals, and Bharat also said that he would give up all the comforts of the palace and live like a hermit in this little tent that he had. So Ram and Sita and Lakshman went into the woods, went into the jungles, and wandered. Now, they were very, very happy. They were aware of the sorrow that the kingdom, that had fallen upon the kingdom, but they realized that they couldn't do anything about that.